Rick Horrow with Steve Patterson, and I could tell you he's the president CEO of the Arizona Coyotes. It's hard to memorize his resume because there's so much there. There's the Houston Rockets. There's the Houston Texans. There's the Portland Trail Blazers. There's UT. There's Arizona State University. What'd I miss?
I think that's most of them.
Most of them. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff. A legitimate
painted houses
icon.
one summer.
Thank you very much. And obviously in a quest for stability in the Valley of the Sun. How's that to describe your Arizona Coyotes role?
I think that's accurate. You know, this is a franchise that's had its challenges, but we've been able to consolidate the ownership with Andy Barraway taking over last year. We're right now working on building the business back up, developing the brand, creating credibility with the business community, the elected and appointed officials. And as we do that, our revenues grow and we get more solidified in the Valley.
Public-private partnerships, obviously very important. This event is all about sports tourism and economic development in the state of Arizona. Many elected officials get it, many don't. What's the kind of 30,000-foot message for investing in infrastructure?
I think if you look across the country, by and large, those communities that have decided to invest in sports facilities have gotten tremendous returns, not only financially, but in terms of the taxes, in terms of the jobs, also in terms of the quality of life for the people that live there, and for the kind of exposure it gives those communities around the country and internationally.
And so you've had the experience in Houston. Tell us what the kind of success story was like. Texans, Super Bowl 38, recovering the dollars from that as you did it.
Yeah, I mean, the community put up the land and the parking and about $375 million to get what was then Reliant, what is now NRG Stadium, built. But you get a Super Bowl commitment right off the hop. You get a $300 million return on that. A couple of NCAA Final Fours, hundreds of millions of dollars of investment there. A couple of regional NCAA events, a new bowl game. And so all of a sudden you have all these tourist events happening on the weekend, filling up hotels, filling up restaurants, giving jobs to people that are driving cars and whatnot. And so it's a tremendous return for the community as a whole.
And 38 led to 51.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get one Super Bowl, you got a much better chance of getting another one. You know, once you get one NCAA championship and you perform well, you get a much better chance of getting another one. So once you're in the cycle of those kind of events, it's great for the city.
You work with Paul Allen in Portland, arena-related stuff. We did some stuff together. You obviously did stuff with the Rockets. You did stuff with the Texans, UT, all facility-driven and based. He used to be 7'2", and he had black hair. What happened to you?
Well, I can either blame my wife or I can blame the jobs.
The jobs are stressful. They're high visibility. Everybody in the world wants blue seats, red seats. They all have an expertise on where a site should be.
Yeah.
How difficult is that in this environment at this time?
Well, I think it's actually comes with the territory, right? I mean, if you didn't have everybody who thought they weren't an expert, you wouldn't have any fans, right? So you got to have the fans, and they got to have their opinions, and you got to have the talk shows and what goes on Twitter. It's all a part of engaging fans and people in the community. And the more engaged you are, the better conversations you'll have, the more success the brand will have in the long run.
Sports in a way that can't be quantified, quality of life. You told a story in this panel in your Houston experience about what you've seen the last couple of years in Houston. Tell us.
Well, I think, you know, when you go through building a new building, rebuilding a franchise like the Astros have done, you see the tremendous outpouring of emotion and community involvement from them winning a World Series. Doesn't happen unless you have the new ballpark there. Same kind of thing for the Rockets. The successes they've had over the years doesn't happen without a new arena. You know, you don't get an NFL team unless you've got a viable stadium. You don't get the bowl games. You don't get the championship games and the other kind of events that go there without those kind of facilities. And that's part of the fabric of a great community, whether it's arts, whether it's entertainment, whether it's a port or an airport or rail lines. Sports is just a part of that makes a great community.
You've now done ASU and Texas. You're doing Arizona. You did Houston, and Portland. What's more enjoyable, college environment or pro environment?
You know, I always really look at it as what's the next challenge.
Yeah.
You know, sort of once I've done it, I'm moving on to the next one. We love living here in Phoenix. You know, we never gave up our house when we left, so it's great to be back in it. We got a lot of great friends here. The weather's great like this, and like I said a little earlier, growing up in Wisconsin and seeing the Phoenix Open in the middle of February when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, it's a pretty heavenly place.
And God bless you, because the Coyotes and Steve Patterson, let me just put it this way, they need each other. Rick Horrow will be back soon.